Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you so much, distinguished senators. It gives me great pleasure once again to appear before you on a matter involving a motion for the proposed removal of a governor from office by way of impeachment. Mr. Speaker, sir, distinguished senators, before I get into the pith and marrow of my opening statement, I'll begin by reflecting on the fact that coincidentally, today is the 27th day of August, the year 2025, and therefore today marks precisely 15 years to the hour from the day we adopted, enacted, and gave to ourselves and to our future generations the Constitution of Kenya 2010. I also take note of the fact that in his recent presidential proclamation of August 27th as Katiba Day, His Excellency, the President, noted that it is befitting for the people of Kenya to commemorate this day as a reminder of our collective duty to obey, preserve, protect, and implement the Constitution. I finish that observation by noting that that proclamation also observed that Katiba Day shall be observed throughout the territory of Kenya, including our diplomatic missions abroad, as the day dedicated to renewing our shared commitment to the ideals of our Constitution by fostering national dialogue on constitutionalism, governance, and the rule of law. The County Assembly of Kericho has, by instrument of this motion, caused this House to sit here today and engage in this conversation, this dialogue on constitutionalism, governance, and the rule of law through the prism of the county government of Kericho. It is in the place of an opening statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, to lay out the broad outline of one's case. And therefore, I wish to proceed by laying out the broad outline of the case of the County Assembly of Kericho. The case of the County Assembly of Kericho is that generally, once elected representatives like the governor now before you have some prescribed tenure in office, in our case, a 5-year tenure. But the case by the County Assembly of Kericho is that there is an unwritten word in that 5-year tenure, the words being a 5-year good behavior tenure. The County Assembly of Kericho have brought before you their governor, and they are telling you he is of bad behavior. They now wish to lay out the basis for their assertion that having observed their governor for slightly over 2 years that he has been in office, his conduct reveals bad behavior. The County Assembly of Kericho takes note of the fact that this House ordinarily summons county governors and county executives, and sometimes decries the rot in county governments. What the County Assembly of Kericho has done is that internally, through its standing committees and through its ad hoc committees, it has undertaken an oversight role of the county governor and his executive. So they have had a scientific method of approaching this matter. At the conclusion of their investigations through standing committees and ad hoc committees, the rot in the government of the governor now before you has come to the fore. They have therefore carried that rot to you as evidence of bad behavior and we'll be inviting you to consequently vote for the removal of this governor from office. How will they do that? For example, when the time will come, they will take you through payment vouchers for multiple transactions. Multiple transactions. And when you study those vouchers and their supporting documents, part of the data that you'll come across is found in volume 4D of the County Assembly's documents. So that, distinguished senators, when you look at volume 4D of the County Assembly's documents, you will see a summary of what various payment vouchers and other transactional documents reveal regarding the county government of Kericho. I'll give you a few examples. Evidence will show that a company called Mengro Products Limited was awarded a contract to maintain a bridge at a contract sum of 3,120,790 shillings. As is common with infrastructure contracts, there is a retention amount that is retained by the contracting party, the county government, for a defect period, which is 10%. When the vouchers are laid before you, 10% of 3,120,790, you will notice, is 312,079 shillings. And that is actually the amount that was prescribed in the contract, as the documents will show you. On 8th November 2021, before the governor in question came to office, that matter was settled, and Mengro Products Limited was paid 312,079 shillings in full and final payment of the retention amount. After this governor came to office, fictitious documents were created, new payment vouchers generated, and on 16th October 2024, during the tenure of this governor in office, Mengro Products Limited was paid 312,079 shillings, the same amount that had been paid in full and final settlement on 8th November 2021. You'll be glad that you will have the inspection reports that were supposed to support this voucher for this payment. And whereas this is a contract for the construction of a bridge, the inspection report will talk about how bushes were cleared. You will see that standard observation in all inspection reports to support this double payment. Somebody had a cut and paste observation in the inspection reports to support all these fictitious payments. That company, evidence will show, was given another contract to maintain a road that is specified in the evidence before you at a contract sum of 3,722,878. The retention amount was 372,287. That money was paid fully and finally on 1st April 2021, before this governor came into office. After he came into office, courtesy of creative accounting, fresh payment vouchers were generated. Fresh supporting documents were generated, and on 16th October 2024, an amount of 372,288, the same retention amount that I mentioned earlier, was paid afresh to the same company. Evidence will show, senators, that Mengro Products Limited, the same company, got another contract for construction of Lelsotet Bridge in Londiani Ward for a contract sum of 4,968,601. The retention amount, pursuant to that industry practice of having a retention figure, was 496,860. Vouchers and other supporting documents which were obtained from the county executive through the county assembly's investigation committees will show on 16th November 2021, before this governor came into office, the full retention amount was paid, 496,860. After this governor came into office, on 16th October 2024, the same amount, 496,860, was paid to Mengro Products Limited. In the course of this drafting, I sought to know whether somebody knows who is Mengro, because behind these companies are people. Unfortunately, I was working with people who don't work in the executive, so they could not put a face to who Mengro was. I hope at an appropriate time, this Senate will ask that question directly to those concerned, who is Mengro? Cherire Holdings Limited is a company that was granted a contract to construct a road in Soliat Ward at a contract sum of 4,530,360. The retention amount was 453,036. That money was fully paid during the term of this governor on 28th June 28th June 2024. Full amount paid. On 16th October 2024, 4 months later, fresh payment vouchers were generated, fresh supporting documents generated, and the same amount was paid to that same company, Cherire Holdings Limited, on 16th October 2024. To save time, you will find that in respect of another company called Spike Investment Limited, through which, by virtue of double payment of retention amounts, the county government of Kericho and the taxpayer lost 383,065 shillings. You will find that in respect of Green 80 Limited, by virtue of double payment of retention sums, the county government of Kericho and the Kenyan taxpayer lost 416,034 shillings. You'll find that in respect of Prospera Ventures Limited, where the taxpayer, through double payment of retention amounts, lost 423,000, my apologies, 756 shillings. We'll find that in respect of Bitworld Holdings Limited, where through double payment of retention amounts, the taxpayer lost 565,278 shillings. You'll find that in Afriscape Limited, in respect of Afriscape Limited, Rolly Ventures Limited, twice. We are saying this, distinguished senators, unlike in the past where people have come here with generalized allegations on misappropriation of funds. The County Assembly of Kericho has meticulously compiled vouchers pointing to each of these transactions. When you go to page 3 of that same volume, you'll find another scheme of double payment of retention amounts. This involves companies like Prospera Ventures Limited, Breray Limited, Bitworld Holdings Limited, Green 80 Limited, twice, Cherire Holdings Limited, twice, and Spike Ventures Limited. At page 4 of that volume, the County Assembly has tabulated for you the full losses amounting to 8,432,182 in 60 cents. My clients instructed me that if this was one isolated transaction, they possibly would have thought of excusing the governor. The multiplicity of these transactions show either a governor who is not in charge of this county or who is complicit in these ills, and they'll be accordingly asking you to hold that governor to account.